Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Central Empire Wrestling presents Bridge City Slam 7, Saturday, September 6th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa. The Legends Fan Fest starts at 4 p.m. and the wrestling show at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $20 and you can get them at bridgeviewcenter.com. See such former WWE stars like The Godfather, Christy Hemme, Jacqueline Moore, and the Vaudevillains. Plus current TNA stars Frankie Kazarian and Masha Slamovich. And many, many more. It's Bridge City Slam 7, Saturday, September 6th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa. Steve Shuttler Media once again proudly presents Pekin High School football live video streams each Friday night this fall with home and away games and the playoffs. Tune in Friday nights for Pekin High School football right here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. And we are broadcasting live from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. It's a Tuesday night. That means it's Tuesday night tune-up here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube, also on Skunk River Radio. We come to you live each Tuesday night from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. They are our headline sponsor. We also thank Sigourney Body Shop, James Family Greenhouse, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, and Sigourney Motors. All right, let's take it now live. But we've got a table full right off the bat. We got Safe, we got Curtis, we got Ashley. Safe, take it away.
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. I'm your host, Safe Grafke. That is Curtis Vanderwall, and with us is Ashley here from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. And Ashley, I know you guys have a lot of exciting stuff going on and coming up here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. And so why don't you tell us everything that's going on this week here?
So we do have a giant fundraiser going on tomorrow, Safe. This is for our veterans casting away disabilities. Mm-hmm. This is to send veterans to Lake Rathbun, to Honey Creek, for a 6-day resort where they can, have a good time, hang out with their caretakers, just kind of chill out. So we're doing that fundraiser tomorrow from 4 to 7:30. A percentage of proceeds will be donated to that event, and then also we'll be taking donations.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we want to thank you guys again for doing that. The veterans and all the surrounding communities, they all over the U.S., they mean a lot to everyone, and it's just amazing that, here in Oskaloosa, we can help make a little bit of a difference in their lives, and that's amazing what you and the whole staff and on the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch is trying to do for them. So we want to thank you guys again for taking care of those that have served our country. And as you know, this weekend in Oskaloosa is a big event. It is the concert on the square. Mm-hmm. And there is a great deal that if people wanted to grab a pizza from here before they headed over to that concert, that they could take advantage of, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a special this week for Pizza in the Park. That's a one topping out the door carry-out special for $9.99. I mean, if you're going to go watch the band, why not just grab a pizza, feed your family, hang out in the park? That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great deal. It is.
A large one topping for $10 is pretty hard to argue with. Is there any limit if somebody wanted to get a couple of those?
No limit.
Okay, that's good.
No limit.
Wow. That's even more amazing, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, you guys have some other specials that happen here with the buffet. So why don't you tell us a little bit if different people were wanting to come on different nights, or let's say they had to work a little bit later in the day on what's happening here.
So we do have our happy hour special, which is from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's $9.99 happy hour buffet for $8.99 for senior happy hour buffet. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, tell you what,
That's-
pretty good option for lunch. Tuesday,
It is.
Wednesday,
Oh
Thursday.
man, I tell you what, you come here for lunchtime and you would leave very happy and probably not able to work the rest of the afternoon, but you could definitely pull it off, maybe.
Yeah. You would not have any issues finding enough to eat. That's for darn
No,
sure.
you would not here. So, again, Ashley, we want to thank you for everything you guys are doing. We will definitely be hoping and encouraging all of you to come out here tomorrow night for the buffet and donate and whatnot for the veterans casting away. Just an amazing thing again, and we just want to thank you guys all for your graciousness and the care that you put back into this community here.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to let Ashley get back out there. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the driver of the 15K, Kyle Harwood, in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
When you need a break, Pizza Ranch is ready. Rough day or good day, sometimes you just need a buffet. And we've got all your favorites always ready to serve. Come to the place that puts a smile on your face. Make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch.
If you've had a run-in with a deer, a fender bender, or any sort of accident with your vehicle, take it to Tony and the guys at Sigourney Body Shop at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney. They'll get you back on the road in no time, and Tony will help you out with a free estimate. It's service with a smile at Sigourney Body Shop. Give them a call at 641-622-2022, or again, stop in at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney. Stop by James Family Greenhouse and Produce in Sigourney. They have a variety of hanging baskets, annuals, shrubs, perennials, trees, mulch, and vegetable plants. Plus, you can spruce up your landscape with yard decor or decorate the inside of your home with home decor. James Family Greenhouse is also a great place to stop in for some gift ideas. You got to stop in and see it all for yourself. James Family Greenhouse at 701 East Jackson in Sigourney. And be sure to follow their page on Facebook.
At Nutrien Ag Solutions, we are dedicated to your success. We partner with growers like you to expand your possibilities with unparalleled offerings. Your unique challenges are met with more customized solutions than anyone else can offer. With you, we're feeding the future together.
Hey, we thank all of our sponsors on board for Tuesday Night Tune-Up. Of course, our headline venue is Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. We also thank the likes of Sigourney Body Shop, James Family Greenhouse, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, Iowa, Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, and Sigourney Motors. Let's take it back live to Safe and the guys. Safe, who we got with us?
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up, and we are so grateful to have this man returning to the table. He now hails here with a mustache. It is Kyle Harwood. Kyle, thanks for
guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
I was worried when you walked in. I thought maybe it was an
Appreciate it.
imposter. So.
Yeah, he's in witness protection.
Yes. So it's not actually. Maybe we'll have to do that thing where your voice is like, ah, blah, blah, blah.
And he's blurred out.
Yeah, blurred out. There we go. We could. That would be
Mahaska
hilarious.
County wanted right
Yeah.
there. Yep, you're
That's
right.
the county wanted. So, Kyle, race season's kind of starting to get into the busy season of fall specials.
They are always fun.
Is it your favorite time of racing, or?
No, I don't know. I always think springtime is fun. Like you have the whole winter anticipation, but like maybe when I was younger it was. But kids are going back to school. Football is starting. You know, kids' sports are still going on. It's like I feel like fall is almost busier than springtime is.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good point. I'm kind of the same way. You know, I don't dislike this time of year. I just like springtime better.
Yeah. It does seem to be nice to get out there and, you know, get all the rust and the cobwebs out in the spring, and kind of nice to see see what's going to happen kind of the rest of the year. I don't know. Some for me has always been just the fall specials always are fun because, national points are wrapped up. It seems like everyone's a little more, I don't want to say reckless, but it seems like everyone's a little more like, I really want to win that, $4,000 or $5,000 show or something like that, more as through the rest of the year where it's kind of like, I could throw that slide job, but I might get taken out. I might not win national points.
That really shows my age because I'd rather put the thing back in the trailer than live to fight.
Right.
Next
Oh yeah,
spring.
no, I agree.
Yeah, I can't say too much about that, I guess. But I understand what you're saying. You do have, and I think that there is that small segment of racers that national championship or state or regional or whatever means a lot.
Yeah.
And by all means, I wish them the best of luck at that. I just, for me personally, I question, what does it matter? Who was last year's national champion in any IMCA class? Name one of them. Right, exactly.
I couldn't name one in the last
So-
6 years. I don't even know.
So like to me, it's not a very big deal, but that doesn't mean that it's not for other people, and that doesn't mean a lot to them. So that's really cool. But
And we potentially could see one of Oskaloosa's own.
I think Oskaloosa's got a couple. In the Sport Mod deal between Brayton Carter and Dylan Van Wyck. I think that they both are right there. At it with the deal that happened up north, where they kind of have some partial seasons that count as full seasons, so they have some extra bonus points up for grabs up there with that guy getting claimed and then getting claimed again the next night.
Claim again.
Refused,
Really?
so he got suspended, so he's out of the running.
It's it's been an interesting season.
It really has opened up the door there, and those two guys, man, they're as good as anybody in the country right now. So
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's cool to see that.
Yeah, it is. Let alone being from the same town, but then, also to have, their moms be sisters.
Yeah.
It's
that's true.
It's a pretty wild dynamic when you think about it, and they're both as good as they come. So that could really be good. We have another local guy, or relatively local, John Oliver Jr. in the stock car deal. He's right up there in that deal. Obviously, we don't have a bunch of modified guys around here, but yeah, it's. That national championship thing is always interesting to me. You got to run an absolute ton of races. I think they count, whatever your best 30 out of your first 50, and then you get bonus points. Or
It's the mathematics of it all is kind of funny.
I don't know. It takes me kind of back to, back in the Winston Racing Series days, back in the 80s and 90s. They had a competition index, which I thought was a cool way to do it. They factored in how many people you're racing against and the level of the competition that you're racing against and stuff like that went into it. And it came to whatever, a 4 or 5 decimal place number, and you saw some of those guys win that because this guy had a couple more cars at a few at a few races or something like that he won. So IMCA does it different, and I'm not saying that that's good or bad. It's just
it's different.
Yeah, it is, and it's it's the way that they've done it for years. I'm sure they've tweaked it a few times here and there, but I'll be honest, I don't even really know what all goes into it. So
no, and
I don't either.
For me, it just drives home a point that we've made on this show just about every time. Is some of the best drivers come from this area, and it just keeps getting shown that there are so many good racers from this area that not only you guys have to compete against here, but anytime you travel within about a 60-mile radius, and I'm not knocking, drivers from either outside of that range or outside the state.
Not at all. Not at all. It's just a fact. There is a very high population of very talented and hardworking race teams within.
And we're lucky to see that.
Yeah,
honestly.
within this area, and I think you're right. It's really good, and it kind of goes back to the same thing that we said. Like not everybody local runs like Oski every week, but for those that do, they can go anywhere and run in the top 3, 4, 5.
Very competitive.
And, be a threat to win anywhere that they go. So I think that's one thing that makes Oskaloosa so difficult. And I think if you can, when you run good there, you can go a lot of places and run really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. It's been that way since I feel like the mid '90s. The corners are so long, and your car has to work so good. I mean, you still need to drive and be able to hit your line, be smooth, but making that car turn and have enough grip to do it it kind of transfers. Like, we never went to CJ in our life down there, and we showed up and we were
change
like,
a gear and go race.
Yeah, next thing I'm like, I didn't know if we were going to be worth a hoot or not, and we're like, hey, we're in Tech. What happened? There's like 20 some cars down here, and we made it to Tech the first night.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Like, wow, all right, like maybe I can do this.
Yeah. So that brings up my next thing is Super Nationals is coming up.
Yep, starts this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
With the prelude, and then
Correct.
Sunday's the first actual day.
Yep.
Is that
Which is
right?
crazy that we're into Super National season. But what's even crazier is there is a race taking place right now. Do not leave this to go watch it right now, because this is way better than that probably is.
Obviously.
Right now. I can tell you that for a fact, if you're wondering. Is the XR series has
suspense
a
is thick.
100,000 to win stock car show going on.
Potentially
Potentially
100,000
to win. Yeah. Well,
What are the factors in
so,
which this has to happen?
Curtis and I were talking about it a little bit before
Waxing
the show.
gibbous moon phase, 50 cars.
So here's the thing.
So
I
for
was
100,000. I would think that you would.
How many
have
cars do you think would be
Yeah.
at a show for
I would think
100,000
you'd have to
win,
turn
Kyle?
cars away.
You would think
How
so.
many cars do you think are up there?
I have 100. I don't know. I really don't have
You're
any
not
idea.
close.
Like low,
Lower than 100.
Oh, wow.
How about this? Lower than 80.
80 stock cars.
76.
Wow.
For 100,000, guess how much the entry fee is?
I don't know. $300.
$800.
$800
a car.
$800 a car.
At
no,
the gate.
well,
There
at the
were
gate.
there were some pre-entry breaks. You maybe
Guess
got
how
it
much
for
the
6 or
pre-entry
7.
break was? Before July 31st was $600. From July 31st in the month of July, they moved it to $700. And then if you decide to show up there and race, it's $800. But then get this. Let's say you
Where
had
does
a
the other
s-
70,000 come
Now
from?
you just wait a minute.
I'm doing some math.
It gets
Right.
better. Oh, it gets way better. Let's say you decide you can't race in it,
Okay.
but you want to give your spot to Curtis.
Okay.
Yep. And we
Not-
work out a deal.
And you work out a deal. On top of whatever your fee was, whether you had the $600, the $700, or the $800 fee, they're going to charge you another $100
To transfer
to
your
transfer it?
Yeah.
To transfer it.
Then
Is your money guaranteed back if you make the feature?
with XR, is anything guaranteed?
I don't know. I
That's
don't know
a
anything about
Great
it.
question. I'm glad you brought that up, Curtis. I am so thrilled.
Yeah.
And I know I'll take a little backlash for this, but I'll tell you this right now. I have seen some stuff. I've heard some stories from racers.
Yeah.
Man.
Peyton Taylor had an
Ask Peyton Taylor
unbelievable-
about what happened with him in
Yeah.
XR.
He's the car owner that Ricky Thornton won the 100,000 at Farley last year.
Okay.
With that, and it was
They haven't seen the money yet. So what's hilarious is Ricky is racing up there this year for Timmy Current because
Timmy Curran,
Peyton
Jeff Hoker's car that
Yeah.
Spa built for him this winter.
now,
Okay.
and I'm not trying to take a jab at anyone here, but I have heard that if you're certain people, you are guaranteed to get paid from them.
You could be right. I don't have any info on that.
I'm
but
not going to dive too far down that rabbit hole, but I have heard and I have been told that by several people.
wow.
And so Peyton's like, Ricky, I like you, man. I want you to go win another $100,000 race, but it ain't going to be one of my cars for one of those guys' races.
Where is this happening at? What track?
Fort Dodge.
Fort
Fort
Dodge.
Dodge up at Sports Park.
Yeah, Sports Park Raceway.
So my thing is
Really nice, like
Great track. Nice little
little,
track.
little shorter than a half mile.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Okay.
banking to it. Really nice facility.
It
up
is.
There. They
It
really
is.
have done
And
a
so-
good
but-
job. Of
Are
it.
there support classes like hobby stock?
No,
Sport it's
no, but
just
get this,
stock cars.
And get this, gets better. How much do you think a 3-day adult pit pass is?
It's a 3-day show.
3-day. Guess.
And practice
$100
lesson.
$150.
$50 a night. $50 a day.
$50 a day. Kids 12 and under is $25.
Wow. So you have your entry fee. 'Cause
So you
that's where
have
the
a-
first. That's where the first
So let's just say
26,000
this:
came
you have
from.
you have a $800.
3,000 people show up. So that's
Yeah, so you got 70,
And then
70 cars at 800.
And
That's
you got-
56,000, right?
And then if
Three
you want
crew guys,
to, and then grandstand
200.
tickets are
that's only another $3,000.
grandstand tickets were $35 a piece.
This isn't penciling out very well.
Each night was $35.
And then the rest of it is how much does it cost to stream?
Good question.
I think I looked, and it's like
It's got to be 30 or 40 bucks, doesn't it?
a night.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
30
it's
or
like
40 bucks
a
a
night. It's like
Maybe XR is gonna
$35
make it
a
back
night.
that way. I don't know. I
Really interesting.
yeah, I don't know all the details.
I
don't
just
know
see
the ins and outs.
I just see,
But I have
a little.
heard-
I see a box popping up over here, and it just has the words BAD bad written all over.
But there was stipulations that if metrics didn't happen, then you don't
well,
get the
we're
100,000.
assuming.
yeah,
this is all,
I haven't heard that, but
I think
but
the-
how could it not?
I think the hump we're going on here is.
If this
I mean,
was
it's
Shark,
20
You
grand
hear
for
what happened to
second.
Peyton Taylor and some other people that have dealt with XR with getting their money.
Well, if you-
that's why we put that in kind of almost in like it's 100,000 to win.
Yeah, I don't know all the details. I don't know all the ins and outs. I haven't been privy to any of those conversations. I just know that when you hear 6 or 8 or 10 instances of people having issues, the exact same issue over and over,
Yeah.
it's and then like for me as a racer, like why would you move it from Farley where it was to another track. Now, on one hand, I get that, right? Hey, we're going to just move it around. We're going to have it at different tracks. By all means, that's neat and that's great. But the devil's advocate in me goes, did they,
Right.
Did you
Did
have a
Farley
choice?
make any money?
Did you have a choice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So right. So what, again, the ins and outs, I don't know. I'm not privy to that. I'm not a race promoter.
I'm
by any stretch.
I'm not here to diss Fort Dodge, but if you look at tracks that have had a lot of those more the larger races, I would have thought like Spencer or Marshalltown or something. So then, yeah, devil's advocate here is, did they reach out and nobody wanted them?
Yeah, it's
Well,
tough to say.
if their pitch was like yours and this was Shark Tank, I'd be like,
Later.
I'm out. I'm
Yeah,
out.
later.
I'm out.
See you later.
I'm out.
Oh wait, I don't get any concessions. I don't
It's
get any
like,
tickets.
I'm
Yeah,
out.
right.
I mean,
It's hard to
now we
say
don't
how
know
that all,
those
Unless-
yeah, how it all
but-
breaks down.
Unless he rented the track or whoever he or she runs the series. I don't know who runs it, but I don't know.
Maybe
Barry-
Barry Braun.
Barry Braun, yeah, that's
Yep.
his name.
Okay.
Yep, Barry Braun.
And he was involved. He was involved with IMCA TV very early.
Okay.
IMCA and XR were kind of hooked together, and then I think he kind of took over. Did he take over like the Duel in the Desert in Las
Yes.
Vegas? And then did he have something to do with the whole Bristol thing and all
Oh,
that stuff?
interesting.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
It
yeah,
just-
so there's a several year culminate, that's kind of led up to this, and I don't personally know him. I just know that
don't
I've heard a
either.
lot of bad things, but I've also seen at the same time, who jumps off and has $100,000 to win anything race, right?
Like Kokomo.
Yeah.
With 100,000 to win
Yeah.
Sport Compacts. I mean,
Right.
same guy.
Really?
Same guy.
Yeah, I think so.
XR. It's all
Yeah.
XR.
And he had an XR late model series there for a year or two.
Yeah, that went real well.
Yeah, so like I say, I don't know, and hey, I'm not here to say that if you try something and it doesn't go good that you need to stop, right? I think that some of the most successful people in the world try things and fail.
Absolutely.
And that's not what we're getting at. But if yeah, I don't know. I hate to advertise a race as X amount to pay, to win, and then it not be that. Now, I'm not saying that it won't be. I don't know, and I haven't heard, but
isn't it
at
crazy the money
76
that's
cars?
yeah.
It makes you go, man. How would you?
Yeah. And then you look at payouts going across everything right now, and it's nuts. Like Houston's next year is going to be $300,000. Knoxville is going to pay out like an extra $80,000 or $90,000.
Are they really?
I mean,
they moved it up to 195, right?
Right. Well, next year it's going to be more than that.
Wow.
I think next year it's going to be 2 or 2.
It's been like that for a year, like
But it
20
keeps-
some years.
But we keep seeing the climb, which is great. I'm not going to complain about that. But at the same time, it's like you look at Knoxville, you look at Houston, you look at those deals, and it makes sense because the numbers are there, the things are in place. You look at some of this other stuff, and it really makes you want to question everything.
Yeah, like
because it's
how does it math out, right?
How do you math out $100,000 to win Sport Compact Show at Kokomo, Indiana?
Yeah, now maybe they had 300 cars there. I don't know, and I don't.
I don't know.
I
I think
never
that's
hear.
still coming up. I don't think that's
Oh,
happening
okay,
yet.
okay.
That's
Well, if you
not for a
talk
little
to
bit.
some of the sprint car owners, the reason they like Knoxville so much is it pays well just to start the
Correct.
A main. Like
It
some of
does.
those big paying shows don't.
Doesn't
It's
it
like-
pay $20,000 to start the Knoxville Nationals?
Or it's like-
feature
Yeah.
or something like that.
5 or 6.
Some,
It's-
some
It might be
crazy
5
number.
or 6 or
Oh,
10.
it's more than that.
I was thinking it was 10 or
Because
20.
it might be
Yeah.
because it's like 5,000 to win a feature on a regular Saturday night, but it's more to start the A main.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
someone said.
But
it
like
start- it-
some of
it-
those shows that only pay 100,000, they might only pay $500 for fifth.
So get this. I was talking to some people at Knoxville and said, I'm like, hey, just curious, what made you go from pro sprint straight to 410, or you've been in 360, now you're going to 410. It seems like a lot of guys were jumping to 410 there for a while. I'm like, why is that? And they said, it pays more to start a 410 feature than it pays to win the 360 or the 305 or the pro sprint.
Yeah,
Probably.
the 305 sprint car deal at Knoxville is $900.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
360s I think are $3,000.
$3,000, yep.
And then $5,000 for 410s.
Yeah.
But sometimes they add to that. What I really hate is you hear this $100,000 to win, right?
Yes.
Second place is $20,000.
Right.
So Kyle and I race. We are separated after however, I don't even know how many laps features. Is it 50 or 100 or whatever? We're separated by 3 feet at the finish line. Does he make does he deserve 80,000
Yeah.
less than me?
No.
Or vice versa, right?
Right.
What-
No, I
whoever,
agree.
You know,
That's the problem.
I
that's
agree
the type
with
of thing that I don't like.
Yeah, neither do I, because
I mean,
it's just
not that $20,000 isn't awesome, but second place should pay 75% of whatever
Yeah.
it pays to
I
win.
would have rather-
I agree with that. Like if you're talking about the car count, if you paid a stock car show 25,000 to win, but it was 8,000 to start or something,
Yeah.
you would have
that's the
300
thing.
people show
Here's
up.
how it should have been advertised, and here's how it should have been done.
Same purse, just
A
spread
main
out.
purse is $100,000 or
Yeah.
whatever, something
Right,
like
whatever that number is.
along
Sure.
the line of, if you would have said the whole purse is this instead, here's what we're gonna pay out. Winner gets 15,000, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
however it breaks
second,
out.
however,
Second place gets
to make
12
it,
or
to
10
make
or
it
whatever.
at least more like, obviously there's going to be a bunch of torn up stuff by the end of this. I don't think anyone can doubt that, because that is a huge difference again.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be part of it. Instead of you say, this is how we're going to do it, I think you'd have more competitive heat races with less guys getting taken out. You'd have super competitive B mains to try to get into that A. And then you're still going to have a grade A feature. They're going to be battling hard. They're going to
hopefully.
be like, well, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's more competitive when you say this is the total purse amount versus we're going to just
if
pay
you're-
this to win, and then here's second, third, and then basically from fifth down, you guys are going to get your $800 back.
If you're going to have a 3-day show, you can't have that many cars on the track in one night because
No.
eventually it's going to get rubber down or the
Correct.
track won't be racy. So you got to break it up somehow, right?
I don't know. I'm just not really. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
going to be a weird deal. So
Lots of question marks in my mind.
Yeah,
This is
it'll be
at the end of the
interesting.
day. I hope it's successful.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think
hope-
we were going to
I
have
hope
some
it's a
good
great
stuff.
race.
Next week's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, I hope all those things.
I do too.
I just don't.
I have a bad.
I just
feeling.
can't make it math in my head.
Neither
But
can
I
I.
but I hope
I'm not
that I'm
great at
missing
math.
something. Yeah, and I hope I'm missing something.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we're going to talk about Donnie Schatz, Cade Dillard, and a few other things here in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
At Copeland Auto Body, we strive to be the area's consistent provider of advanced collision repair. We want all of our customers to have a stress-free experience when they bring their car to Copeland Auto Body. Give them a call at 641-653-2140. Find them online at CopelandAutoBody.com. Copeland Auto Body, located in Hedrick, Copeland Collision Center in Oskaloosa, and Copeland Towing and Recovery in Sigourney. For auto body and towing for Hedrick, Oskaloosa, and Sigourney, see Copeland Auto Body. Got a problem under the hood? At Sinclair Napa, we're here to help. No matter if you're tuning up the family car, gearing up your heavy-duty truck, or maintaining your boat, we have the know-how you need to keep your ride running strong. Whether it's top-notch parts, expert advice, or unbeatable customer service, Sinclair Napa is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Because at Sinclair Napa, we don't just sell parts, we're here to help you get the job done. Stop by today in Sigourney, Montezuma, Williamsburg, Centerville, or Ottumwa, or visit us at SinclairNapa.com.
Hi, I'm Krista Sellers, driver of the 7K Figure 8 race truck. I race at local figure 8 tracks across southern Iowa. One of my good sponsors is CJ at Sigourney Motors. Next time you or someone you know is looking for a good used vehicle or in need of some minor repairs, you can contact CJ at Sigourney Motors. Give them a call at 641-224-8056 or stop by 705 East Jackson Street in Sigourney, Iowa. Hope to see you at the races or at CJ's shop.
Hey, we're back here live at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch for Tuesday Night Tune-Up. We do thank Oski Pizza Ranch for being our host venue and our lead sponsor on TNT. We also thank Sigourney Body Shop, James Family Greenhouse, Nutrient Ag Solutions in Keswick, also Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, and Sigourney Motors. Let's go back now live to the guys for the second half of the show. Safe.
Alrighty, so after leaving his ride at Tony Stewart Racing, not the way he wanted to, then going to Big Game Motorsports that everyone thought was going to be two champions running together, lasted a whole day and a half, then going to another ride, and now finding himself for a West Coast swing in the Works Limited number 57 with Paul Silva as the crew chief. Donnie Schatz, what an adventure that guy has had the last month.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You know, the bombshell dropped that he and TSR split up. And then you're exactly right. You know, a day or two later, the big game deal got announced for the next weekend. And everybody thought, oh, wow, that's going to be awesome for 7 races. Now, he still didn't have anything lined up for the West Coast deal at that time. But then that deal turns bad. The lap 1 of the feature, of the first feature.
Literally.
Jumped the cushion.
Corner 1, and it's balled up. So then he drives for Dave Loonstra, is that right?
Yes.
Whose truck they were using anyway, maybe, or something like that. But they weren't going to go out west either. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
I think that could be another one of those dynamic duos, possibly, because Paul Silva, quite the brainiac. But the question is
absolutely unbelievable.
But the question is, and I'm not trying to discredit Donnie for anything he's ever done.
Absolutely not.
One of the greatest to ever drive a sprint car. Does he still have any gas in the tank left? I know he's been really focusing on his nieces, and he's very involved with them.
That's a good question. You know,
I think it's time that more of those serious conversations go on, because, you know, it's been this thing with him where it's always kind of been the last few years, horrible first half of the season, nationals, and then we see him start to pick up some wins and kind of get back into the, you know, kind of the upper part of the points and normally work his way up into the top 5 or whatever, and it's just been a thing. But now it's like, what's really going on? Are we at kind of the end of that era, or is there maybe something left?
I think that there's a certain amount of uncertainty, right? So anytime you're getting in different race cars, anytime you're working with different people, anytime you're running, you know, like, where's the half-inch wrench? You know, I mean, something as simple as that, you know, let alone, you know, who's the guy doing the tires, right? Who's the crew? You know, all those things go into it. I personally, I think it's a little bit soon to say that Donnie Schatz is can't drive anymore, or he's not as good as he once was, right? But that's a real thing though too. We all get to an age where maybe your eyesight's a little bit not as good, maybe your reflexes are a couple hundredths of a second off of maybe what they were when you were 25 or 30 or whatever.
Right.
So you raise an interesting point. I'm not personally ready to say that. Now, I'm also not saying that he's going to get in the works car and even run as good as Spencer Bayston has the last couple weeks. But I think it'll be I really think it'll be a true indicator on what's going, because there's nobody better in the sprint car world than Paul Silva.
No.
There may be a couple other guys that are
There's some
as
guys
good.
in the conversation,
Yeah,
but
right,
I
right. But, there's you can't go, oh, yeah, he's definitely behind X, Y, or Z.
Well, and Flo had a really nice article on it. And Donnie in his report said Paul, 20 minutes after the deal was done, was texting him, how much do you weigh? He was asking him all these
I believe
questions.
it. 100%.
And
100%.
That's Paul Silva
Paul.
from everything
That's
that I've
Paul.
heard.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you. Rico's crew chief now was Donnie's crew chief.
Ricky
and
Warner.
That program was lightning for several months, but I think it'll be a good barometer on what he's got left in the tank. If the equipment's good, you got Paul turning the wrenches, gets it dialed in. It may take a race or two, but
I hope they do.
I mean, I don't know.
I hope for Donnie, more than anything.
I don't know what their gauge is too. If they go out there and they're competitive, they're passing people, and they get top fives. I think
Personally,
that's good.
I think you're exactly right. If he can go out there and be relatively competitive, be challenging for those top 5 positions, I think that personally, for the first few races in that car for the rest of the year, I think that's a really successful end of the year.
Yeah,
especially with his West Coast luck. He always hasn't
very little historically.
Yeah, very. So it's going to be very interesting to see, I think, from all angles that you look at this story. It's kind of that Cinderella story in a sense of he's going out there and he's going to be dealing with the literal best in the business. So it's going to be very exciting.
Right. But on the other hand, there's really no pressure.
No.
There isn't. So, I mean, there is pressure, don't get me wrong. But
not the same.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Now, maybe the bigger question is, what does he do next year? Right? Yeah. How does that shake out?
I have a feeling you're gonna see him more in the Midwest, and I think he's gonna be focusing on his nieces a lot more. He still has his house late model.
Yep, I heard that same thing. I heard that he's gonna run his own sprint car, his own late model, and then his nieces are gonna run their sprint cars and late models.
Now, what will be interesting to see is what happens with TSR, and I've heard some rumblings of hot sauce, and I've
heard the same thing.
I've heard several different things, but we can't confirm or deny anything.
Nope.
And
Gio's been doing a good job.
Gio's been doing
in the 7BC.
Yeah, he has been.
He hasn't really missed a beat. He got out of the.
And that's a question: is KCP just a toxic kind of team? Honestly, I mean, you've looked at what's happened with them historically over the last 4 or 5 drivers, and it kind of has the same feeling of when he was the 2KS car. I mean, just kind of some toxic-ish environment, which isn't.
And maybe toxic is too strong.
Maybe, but
But yeah,
it's the best way of putting it.
Something's not right there.
There's a missing piece.
Yeah,
there's something missing, or
something doesn't mesh, right? And whatever that is,
whether it's the chain of command or the communicate, something has fallen apart there.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with that team. And I think it was not a bad move by TSR to maybe wait on Gio because he's going to be in that 7BC, but I think it was smart for them to keep running, and I don't think it was necessarily a bad idea to get Kerry Madsen. It was shocking that they kind of got that, but he's been in that car some, so I think it's just very interesting still. So it's going to be interesting to find out what happens after we get through Charlotte.
Yeah.
here
I
in a few
think
months.
You're right. I think it could very well be one of the newsiest, if you will.
December is
off
going to be
seasons.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be. One thing that I personally been impressed with Kerry in the 14, or 15, I guess. I think
Very
that
good
he's-
runs.
Yeah, I think he's
Same with Justin Sanders in the
Yep.
87.
Sanders has been running really good in the RSR car.
Kerry ran well in the 55 earlier in the year too.
Yeah, right. It's just, I think that's been going really good. I was really happy to see Spencer Baston. He lost his ride in the Myers car, and then gets in the Works car out for the high limit West Coast stuff, and has run really, really good in each of those races. So, that's really cool to see as well. So.
Well, if the TSR sprint car program stays around, and it is Gio Scelzi, I mean, that is kind of a little drag racing connection. Now that Tony's still drag racing with Gary, I don't know how active he still is in that sport. But
I think
he's not anymore.
No.
But Gary's such a cool personality and just an awesome dude. And I think both boys carry that same thing. I think Gio's a little bit maybe more.
He's a little more reserved than Dominic.
Yeah,
definitely
Dominic's
more than
Gary.
Gary.
A little bit more outgoing, maybe. But I haven't heard a bad word about either one of them ever.
Great guys.
Yeah, I think
Two of the
they
best.
really are.
Yeah.
So, which makes sense, right? I mean, they come from really good stock, so I mean that it just makes sense. And as a parent, this. You guys both know this. It's like that's just kind of what you hope for as a parent, right? Like I want my kids to be liked and productive members of society.
I mean,
someday.
Dominic does have one of the most memorable post-race finishes after a win this year.
That's true. He definitely does.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, got up on his lid a little bit.
So speaking of parents being proud and everything, we have maybe some not so proud parents of Cade Dillard after quite a interesting incident at Batesville that then led to, I would say, one of the most distasteful and disheartening interviews that I have ever heard in dirt late model racing.
Yeah, I
think
was
that's the best way of putting it. I was so disappointed.
I was completely surprised because
I think everyone was
because I had never yet. I mean, even at our level, right? You still hear things about people, and you still hear this, that, and the other, and I hadn't heard that that he that Cade Dillard was anything but a pretty awesome dude.
I've met him several times. Great guy as far as I knew.
Man, did he?
Real quick, if you haven't seen it after the show's over, before you decide if you want to try to watch 76 stock cars run for $100,000, get on YouTube and look up Cade Dillard, Batesville, Garrett Albertson, and just watch that.
So
100,000 nickels
to the move.
Wooden nickels.
I guess I couldn't. I don't remember anything where Garrett necessarily drove him bad in the past. He obviously felt like that, but
very heavily.
Yeah, but then obviously something. He just made a really bad judgment, right? And he just completely destroyed his car and Garrett's car, and that's just really horrible to see. And then you're right to get on the TV after that and say, yes, I absolutely did that on purpose. I meant to. I wanted to junk his car. And
then I'll do it again.
And I'll do it again.
again.
I just...
Unbelievable, yeah.
Now, again, like we've said before, maybe there's some extenuating circumstances,
There
right?
must
There
be.
could be some other factors in his world that maybe help precipitate this. We don't know that. So if that's the case, to his credit, I will say this. To his credit, he did apologize.
He did.
After the fact and owned up to, hey, I did bad and I said dumb things, and that's not me. So at that point, I think we give the guy the benefit of the doubt.
Try to give him some.
In my mind anyway.
For me, what I find almost comical about it was he starts going off about Garrett's driving, and they show the incident on the track again, and it's like you're watching.
Oh,
it's
not
like
even close. It's,
It's
not even
not-
like-
you're.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I waiting
Yeah.
to see? Because that was honestly one of the cleanest slide jobs
Right,
I've seen.
right. He was
Yeah.
covered
I mean,
by
he gave
three-quarters
him-
of a car.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is not adding up to what he just said at all.
So obviously it's maybe stemmed from other things, but again,
Well, he said that it stemmed from him seeing Jake
But-
Timms get taken out.
yeah,
and
but man, I guess
then-
I haven't
I don't
seen
know.
that, but
I haven't
but
either. It's just it's so. It was a very bad thing all the way around. You look at
was a
from
horrible look.
You look at it from a driver's perspective, a fan, a track
Owner.
a competing a series, a PR person. Which I don't know who his PR guy is, but they either needed to give him a raise or they need to maybe find another PR person. Still on the fence on that one, but
here's an interesting thing. So Lucas Oil
yeah.
bans him for 6 months, right?
Yes.
So he can't race with them
Nope.
until I think it ends. I think the 6 months ends right before their speed weeks because they have a later speed weeks next year.
Well, now,
But
Like February or something.
but
did they
yeah.
do 6 actual months or was it 6 competing months?
No, 6 months.
Okay,
So
okay.
that Flo made a big deal about that it's going to end right before Lucas Oil
I don't
season
know how
kicks
I feel
off.
about that.
But here's where I'm going with this. World of Outlaws. We saw this in some of the other situations where
come race with
they
us.
where other tracks jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Hey, you know what? We don't want you to come race here."
Happened
either."
with Michael Page.
Yeah, so that sort of stuff. So that's all dirt car sanctioned stuff, World of Outlaws, the whole 9 yards. In this case, Lucas Oil bans Cade Dillard for 6 months. World of Outlaws doesn't follow suit.
Basically tells them that to come race with us.
And then he was racing with them last weekend. So
I don't agree with that at all.
yeah, so I didn't either at the time, but at the same token, maybe that's the second chance thing. I don't know.
So here's my thing with the 6 month ban too. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon with whoever was at Flo that said this or whatever that was. Is you look at professional sports, and I'm just gonna say football as an example.
Sure.
If you do something really dumb and you get suspended, it's for the duration of the season, and if the season ends, it picks back up.
Right. If it's 4 games and
If
there's
it's a
only 2
4-game
games
suspension.
this year, it goes into 2 games. And maybe that's what Lucas Oil should do.
That's how I
Maybe-
think it should be.
Maybe they should say it's 20 races or 25 races.
If you're gonna take someone out and then go off like you did, yes, you apologize. I understand all that, and I'm grateful that he apologized. And that's a big man right there to go ahead and say, "Hey, I did this.
Absolutely.
I was really stupid." The punishment should be for the sport as long as the sport goes on. So if it's through the rest of this year and then it's going to have to go into next year, that should be how it is. I think sometimes they almost hurt themselves by doing some of the things they do to help people out because it's like, you're going to be suspended for 6 months, but don't worry, you're going to make our opening at our season next year. That's how I feel.
I hear what you're saying.
I
don't
don't
know that Lucas Oil did that, and I think we also need to take a minute to.
I think it needs to get changed.
Yeah.
Instead of the 6 months, be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, the 20
25
races,
20 races, whatever
or
it is.
whatever. There should be something like that instead, because then I think it really would make these drivers understand a little more how the severity and stuff. And
It'd
it
be
is
more
severe.
painful to them.
It would be 100%. If Kyle, I came to you and said, Kyle, you took Curtis out last week. You're done for a month at Oski. You're like, okay, well, I'm done for a month at Oski.
Oh, there's
I
no
can
more
go,
races then.
I can go to Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Can we out?
Well, I keep-
through December. But if I said, Kyle, you're suspended for the next 6 races that will happen at Oskaloosa.
Yeah.
Two
different things.
Like,
It's more painful.
Way
you know,
more
like
painful.
this, like if you're a sanctioning body, you like a lot of times you would have to look at like instances with other sports, right?
Yes.
So
Kind of the precedent has been
yeah,
set, or
like,
the die's been cast.
if you can't really compare it to football or baseball, but if you look at NASCAR, they have pretty set rules. Like if you right hook a guy, you're going to get fined X amount of dollars, fined X points, and you are sitting out for a race like that. And they've done that 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
this year.
They have.
And personally, I kind of look at this as a right hook incident, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is similar.
Yeah.
He might have bent the front stub, or he didn't blow the engine up. They didn't. But some of those, they get right hooked in the fence at Texas. I mean, that junk's $100-some thousand worth of car.
It's gone.
And it's dangerous.
Yep.
So, looking at it, I guess if I would say 6 months for that, it's almost like I went to Knoxville and watched the Nationals. I watched a lot of guys take their left rear right into people's right front going down the front stretch and back stretch to block their momentum.
Yeah.
That was way more egregious than that.
Yeah,
almost.
I agree.
So I don't know. If you're the sanctioning body, I would. Was it almost knee jerk? That just seems like a lot to me. If that's one of your main guys, I don't know.
Well,
was there a fine too?
But I think the problem
There might
wasn't
have been. I don't know.
necessarily what had happened on the track. It was the way he responded.
They just didn't like the kind of like Denny Hamlin with actions detrimental. Remember that whole deal?
Yes.
yeah.
Real quick, have
Very
you guys
similar.
been keeping up with what's been going on with Front Row Motorsports /23
A
Racing?
little, not a lot.
They're in a lawsuit
Yeah.
with
I thought I read
NASCAR, and if they don't find their own charter by next year, then they have to be done. Isn't that
NASCAR
kinda
says
crazy?
they're going
they're-
to sell their charters.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Well, they are already off the charter system right now.
yeah.
They're
I
not.
thought so,
But they
but then
can't-
they had an injunction or something. I
Yeah,
haven't
now
kept
a
up
judge
with it.
is like, you have to find a charter, otherwise you guys are done.
From a business perspective, I do agree with Denny and Michael and them that the franchise should be worth something. Like if you and I went and bought the Cowboys from Jerry Jones, and
No,
we
I
grew
would
the
never
business,
know.
we
Can
would
we
want to
pick a
make a
different
profit,
team
right?
than the Cowboys
I don't
real
care. The
quick?
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah,
Just
whatever.
pick
Well,
one.
That's kind of better. I mean,
We're all billionaires at this point. Pick
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Like Walmart bought the Broncos, right? For whatever,
Yeah.
however much, $10
Walmart
billion.
bought the Broncos?
Well,
Yeah. The family did.
yeah, the
Oh, okay.
The Walton family bought the Broncos,
yeah.
but if
But
they
it's
if they
worth
turn it around,
something.
Yes.
it needs to be worth something. You should be able to make a profit on your investment.
Yep.
That's what the whole thing is about, right? So before NASCAR owned all the rights and they got all the TV money and they got all this stuff, but if you own an NBA team, you get a lot of the gambling money, you get the TV money, you get all the stuff
that revenue sharing thing.
yeah. And they don't get any of that. And obviously racing's expensive, so the teams should have some money, but if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, I kind of agree with them, but at the same point, the leverage is ridiculously hard at this point because all the other teams signed off on it.
Right.
But they're all siding well, we kind of had to. What are we going to do? Race without a charter?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
It's a
messy,
difficult
isn't
thing.
it?
Yeah.
It's a really messy, bad situation. There's
It's a horrible look for NASCAR.
It really
another
is.
black eye
Yeah,
on the.
and
pretty
they
soon, I think they're going to
miss-
change the name from NASCAR to Road Cars, and it's all going to be road course tracks. They're going to
they
go
just-
to every single major city
they
and race on the streets.
Literally miss no opportunity to make the 100% wrong decision on it.
Hey, at least they decided to come back to Iowa.
That's true.
That is true.
That was a
Hopefully
big
they'll bring a
one.
different tire and
Oh, man,
an
tell
aero
me about
package
it.
or something. But
One thing though, we were talking about
Yes.
Lucas Oil.
yeah,
The world lost one of its hugest. The racing world lost one of its hugest supporters in Forrest Lucas.
Yes.
Passed away.
I didn't know that.
And
Welcome to
yeah,
the-
and
with the
he
times, Kyle.
he has he's had an effect on. If you're involved in racing, he's had an effect on it in some way, shape, or form over the years. Huge supporter through his and his son's stuff, and between series and race car sponsorships and race sponsorships and all sorts of stuff. There's just the racing world today has a lot of Lucas Oil fingerprints all over it, and huge loss to the racing community, and obviously
is.
bigger loss to his friends and family and stuff like that. So our thoughts and
Very
prayers are
true.
with the
Absolutely.
Lucas family, and that's a bummer, but it's part of life.
It is, yeah. It's very disheartening, very sad to hear, and unfortunately we've had that twice this year now. Hulk Hogan owned American Rebel Light Beer.
Yep.
He passed away. Sorry about that, Steve.
Brother.
and now Forrest Lucas. It's very sad. It's been a rough year in the motorsport world. Between
no doubt.
You had that, and you had Scott Bloomquist and some of these other major players that have really shaped and molded racing. It's just sad, but the good thing is, though, there's a lot of bright futures still
Absolutely.
with the sport, and we're going to hope to see Lucas Oil still do what they do best and continue on with their path, and same with
the good news is Forrest's son Morgan, hugely involved in motorsports himself.
Absolutely.
Drove a top field dragster for a long time. He's the president of the company, so I expect the company to continue to be involved in motorsports. They kind of scaled back in recent years some of their involvements, but still are definitely a huge friend to the racing industry and the racing family as a whole.
Absolutely.
The only other Lucas Oil thing I could think of is Josh Richards is
going
to come back.
Coming back at Lernerville this weekend.
Yeah.
With
his
Rocket
dad's team.
One,
Yeah.
with Rocket
Which
One,
that thing has been running a lot better lately.
has been.
Yeah,
See what
from where they
happens.
were.
That XR2 deal or whatever it is. So they had the XR1 and then the 1.2, and now the XR2 I think has kind of been B-Shep has been as good as anybody lately.
Yeah, he's been on a rocket.
Yep. So
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's everything I have. First off, Kyle, thank you for coming back
problem.
on here tonight. Always good to see you in the mustache.
Welcome.
So,
it's always good to see him. The mustache.
yeah, that's true. Verdict's still out. Drop a comment if you think you should keep it.
Yeah,
or cut
maybe
it.
we should have a fall challenge
There we
vote.
go.
How many months away is that? Is that in October?
October.
Yeah,
But it's creeping up.
Yeah, about 6 weeks away now.
6
Creeping up.
weeks.
I mean,
okay.
we're in the last week of August, so
Yep.
getting closer. And then, and Curtis.
College
got-
and pro football starts.
Yeah, you got a lot
Yeah.
of stuff going on, it seems, and you
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you,
you
got,
know,
you
busy
had
at
some
work
racing.
and-
Oh, that's one other thing. Congratulations to Zach Vanderbeek for winning
Yes.
that USMTS
Oh, yeah.
show. That your son told me that I was silly for picking him to win the show last week, and now here we are. So, Cole, hope you're watching, buddy. I was right and you were wrong. So we're just gonna throw that out real quick. That was great.
Yeah, Zach.
yeah.
Zach did. Zach drove a great race, and the car was good. And he drove right by a Chisholm that's won a lot of USMTS stuff this
Yes.
year. So they've got obviously first class operation, really successful chassis company, and got a really good brain trust there that helps keep that stuff fast, and they are really, really hard to beat. So, but again, Zach hasn't been necessarily running all those USMTS races this year, so that's his first one here in a couple years, and man, did he look good doing it.
You did, absolutely. And then don't forget, if you're wanting to watch some racing action, there's the 100,000 to win stock cars at Fort Dodge on XR. If you like trying to burn some money to watch
Tonight,
76.
tomorrow, Thursday,
Yep.
and then Lernerville's this weekend for Lucas
Lernerville
Oil.
this weekend. Outlaws are, can't remember where they're at off the top of my head.
High
Xfinity
Limits
Series at Portland.
Skagit.
Yes,
Yep, that's
Skagit
right.
for the race routine, $126,000 to win. That'll be a legit $126,000 to win. Whoops, did I say that out loud?
Kevin Rudeen
Kevin
will have
Rudeen
no
will have
problem
no
riding
problem
that
riding, none. And then
you know what? That's another guy that gives a ton to the sport. There.
they do.
He just
Somewhere,
seems to
if
be
you
fantastic.
go back in the Dirt and Asphalt archives, I had an opportunity to interview Kevin and some of his team when the race routine race happened at 34 Raceway, which great family. It's one of those stories that you never want to hear, but then it happens, and to see what he does for motorsports. Oh, look at this! Who we got over here joining us?
Oliver.
We got Oliver up here.
Yep, he just brought
Oliver.
the average IQ up several points.
Yep.
He did.
And we're now
and the cute-
multilingual. He
and-
can
and
speak
the cuteness.
Spanish.
Holy cow.
Hola,
¿Cómo estás?
bien. You?
Yo también.
I got nothing,
I'm-
buddy.
You all lost
Good work,
me.
Ollie. Good work, Ollie.
Tacos and nachos, please.
Yeah. So
Extra
Second,
queso.
this is my second grader, Oliver.
the next generation of Harwood Racing.
Yep,
He's
that's
been
right.
He's been hammering on the iPad
That's
over
right.
there.
He
man.
has been playing racing. So again, a lot of great racing coming up this weekend. I know the truck series is over at Darlington. That should be a
Yep.
good race.
Yeah.
Same with the NASCAR series. That might not be as good of a race.
Yeah,
So-
maybe not, but I tell
Good
you
paint
what,
schemes, though. Good paint schemes. Wow.
the weather we've had in the last week or so.
Great.
Unbelievable change. Get out, get to a racetrack this weekend,
Yeah,
and
no
enjoy
doubt.
the heck out of it. So,
Yeah, absolutely, folks. So, again, thank you for all joining us here on TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. That's Curtis Vanderwall. That's Kyle Harwood. That's Oliver, and I'm Safe Grafke. And we'll see you next Tuesday at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch.
And we do thank all of our sponsors, Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, our headline sponsors, Sigourney Body Shop, James Family Greenhouse, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, and Sigourney Motors.